In a small wooden house on the edge of a quiet forest lived an old man named Hanzo. He was a setentado-year-old man, but the years seemed to weigh on him with a weight far greater than time normally imposes. Hanzo had lost his beloved wife May 4 years earlier, and since then he had felt like a boat adrift, rudderless and without a destination. Want to know how Hanzo found his inner peace? Read on to find out, and subscribe to our channel for more inspiring stories. Every morning, the alarm clock would chirp its usual call, rousing him from a restless sleep. Hanzo would struggle to get up, feeling his joints crack like old dry twigs. The house, once filled with laughter and warmth, was now silent, broken only by the soft meow of Suki, the cat May had adopted when they were young. Hanzo would affectionately stroke the feline's head, seeking comfort in her silent company. But it wasn't just his body that was betraying him. His mind also seemed to be fading piece by piece like mist dissolved by the sun. Hanzo often found himself forgetting little things, where he had put his glasses, whether he had eaten or not. And with this decline in memory, a deep fear grew in him, a fear of falling into the abyss of dementia, like his mother before him. Have you ever been afraid of forgetting something important? Tell us in the comments. We would love to hear about your experience. One day, as he was slowly walking along the path that led to the old village, Hanzo noticed something unusual. Sitting on a bench in the small market square was a man dressed in a saffron robe, his head shaved, and a peaceful expression on his face. He was a monk, perhaps from the old temple that Hanzo had not visited in many years. The man, whose name was Sho, looked up and smiled. "Good morning, sir," he said in a gentle voice. "May I join you?" Hanzo hesitated for a moment, then nodded and sat down next to Sho. For a few minutes, neither of them spoke. Then Sho, in a soft and respectful tone, said, "I see a great sadness in your heart. Do you mind sharing with me the burden you carry?" Hanzo, who rarely opened up to anyone, felt a strange trust in this monk. "My wife died," he said softly, "and since then I have felt lost. My mind is abandoning me. I am afraid of forgetting everything, of forgetting her." Sho nodded, as if he understood deeply. "Loss is a terrible thing," he replied, "but often the suffering we feel comes from our attachment to what we can no longer have. In Buddhist practice, we learn to let go, to live in the present moment, which is the only moment that truly exists." "But how can I forget everything?" Hanzo asked, his voice shaking. "How can I accept losing even the memories of those I loved?" Sho smiled once more softly. "It's not about forgetting," he said. "It's about learning to live without clinging to what is past. What has been is not lost, Hanzo. It is simply part of who you are now. Memories don't have to be chains. They can be wings if we learn to see them differently." That day, Sho invited Hanzo to visit the temple and participate in a meditation session. Hanzo, though hesitant, accepted. He had little to lose, he thought, and perhaps somehow he would find some peace. If you want to discover the benefits of meditation, try following one of our practical guides. It will be a transformative journey. The temple was a place of serenity. The gardens were lovingly tended, and the air was filled with the sweet scent of incense. Sitting in a circle, the monks prepared to begin their meditation, and Hanzo sat next to Sho, trying to imitate their posture. As he closed his eyes and focused on his breathing, Hanzo felt his mind immediately wander. He thought of May, of his daughters, of time that seemed to be slipping away uncontrollably. He felt frustrated, unable to find the peace Sho had promised him. After his meditation, Sho approached him and asked, "How did it go?" "Not well," Hanzo admitted. "My mind won't stop. I keep thinking about everything I've lost." Sho placed a hand on his shoulder. "Meditation isn't easy, especially at first. But you don't have to fight your mind. Watch your thoughts as passing clouds. Don't get attached to them. Let them go, and in time, you'll find a stillness you may not have thought possible." Hanzo continued to attend the temple day after day. At first, his progress was slow, and each session felt like a battle against himself. But as the weeks passed, he began to notice a change. His anxieties, the constant pain in his heart, began to diminish. It wasn't that he had forgotten May. but his memory of her became sweeter, less painful. Each breath during meditation anchored him in the present, and slowly, Hanzo began to feel that perhaps he wasn't really lost. It's never too late to start. Let meditation help you find the peace you deserve. One afternoon, after a long meditation, Sho approached Hanzo with a peculiar smile. "There's something different about you today," he said. Hanzo thought for a moment, then replied, "I don't know exactly what it is, but I feel lighter. It's like I've finally found a path to follow." Sho nodded. "You've found your center, Hanzo. You've discovered that peace is not found by trying to change the past, but by accepting the present for what it is. That's a big step. Do you want to find your center too? Join our upcoming live meditation events to find out how." But Hanzo's journey wasn't over yet. Sho suggested that he join an intensive meditation retreat. Hanzo, though intimidated by the idea of spending days in silence, agreed. He knew that if he was to truly find himself, he had to face his deepest fears. The retreat was a transformative experience. Sitting in silence for hours, Hanzo faced his inner demons. Thoughts of loss and loneliness grew stronger, but slowly, with Sho's guidance, he learned to observe them without fear. During one of his last sessions, Hanzo had a vision. He was in a garden, next to a young plant that was slowly growing. With each breath he took, new leaves blossomed, and each leaf was a memory. But instead of fading, those memories integrated into the plant, becoming part of its essence. Don't fear change. It's just another phase of inner growth. Embrace your path. When the retreat ended, Hanzo felt reborn. His fears no longer dominated him. It wasn't about forgetting Mei or struggling with memory loss. He understood that as his memories changed shape, what remained was the love and peace he had always sought. Back home, Hanzo began a new routine. Every morning he sat before a small altar he had built in honor of Mei. Not to mourn her, but to honor her memory with gratitude. Then, with his bamboo staff, he walked to the temple to help the monks with their daily tasks. Every movement, every gesture, became a meditation. His life was finally in harmony. Take inspiration from Hanzo's story and find a way to transform your pain into inner peace. And so, Hanzo found not only peace, but also a purpose. He decided to share what he had learned with other village elders, many of whom, like him, faced loneliness and fear. He formed a small meditation group, and each week they gathered at the temple to practice together. Through silence and breath, Hanzo taught them to see life not as a cycle of loss, but as a continuous flow of experiences where each moment, like a leaf falling and decaying, nourishes the next. "Do not fear oblivion," Hanzo told them, his smile full of peace. "Because with every breath, with every step, life continues to renew itself, and so will we." Want to learn more about the practice of meditation and how it can improve your life? Subscribe to our channel now for more content to guide you on this transformative journey.